Well, the US president seems to have a grand plan. Donald Trump says that the US will be involved in Venezuela for, in his words, years, while Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, says the US plans to sell oil indefinitely. There is a three-part plan for the US to stabilize Venezuela and to try and rebuild it, to take and sell its oil, and to try and install a new government. But Democrats here in Washington are worried because they feel that that plan is undefined, and it could mean that the US is involved in another country for years and years to come. And then there's the question of who is currently running Venezuela. Delcy Rodriguez, the former vice president who now seems to be heading up the government, says that there is no foreign power governing Caracas. So the US, in her terms, has very limited involvement. But the White House says it has maximum leverage over the authorities. And part of that comes down to the military. While there's no US troops on the ground, there is still that military blockade, the Navy, off Venezuela's coast. Donald Trump said that he was in a position to strike if he felt it was necessary, but on Friday said he didn't plan a second military operation against the country. But at least there is that threat used as coercion for Caracas to cooperate. But what about the oil? Well, during a Friday meeting at the White House in Washington, Donald Trump put the hard sell on oil executives. He wants money, investment, and a strong commitment from them. And he wants them to spend big. He told Fox News that they're going to go in, they are going to rebuild the whole oil infrastructure, they are going to spend at least $100 billion. But what we're hearing from the oil executives is that many of them are skeptical. They're worried about the infrastructure in Venezuela, which after years of lacking investment is now largely broken, decrepit in areas. So trying to rebuild Venezuela's oil industry is going to take time and money, billions and billions of dollars. Bear in mind that decline has been significant. In the late 1990s, Venezuela produced about 3.5 million barrels of oil a day. Now, at best, it produces 1 million barrels of oil a day. And Donald Trump says that overall, the US will be collecting between 30 and 50 million barrels from the country. Barrels that he then intends to sell around the world for US profit. Nick Harper, SABC News, Washington.